Hey, welcome back to the channel for another video. So today I have with me this new action camera that's made by iZEEKER called the iA800. And what's interesting about this one is that it claims to record video in 6K at 30 frames per second, which is something you don't usually see in some of these budget cameras out there. So it'll be interesting to see what it actually looks like. Now, before you guys say anything about it, keep in mind that the 6K resolution that I'm talking about here is going to be an interpolated version or an upscaled video size. So it's not going to be real 6K image resolution. So I just wanted to throw that out there before moving forward here. Now, they do say that it records real 4K resolution, so that'll also be interesting to see if that's true. Anyway, let's go through a quick unboxing and then we'll dive into the basic specs of the camera. And after that, we'll head outside and go through all of the settings and features that this action cam has to offer. As you guys can see, it does look really nice on the outside, but what's clear here is that the design itself does mimic the DJI Osmo action, but obviously at a lesser price point. The outer shell feels pretty sturdy and looks like it might be made from some sort of alloy material, and it does have some weight to it as well. While we're at it, let's go ahead and put it on scale real quick to see how much it actually weighs. The camera, as you can see, has dual screens on the front and back of it. The back one is the one with the 2-inch touchscreen, like most action cameras have these days. And over here on the side is the on and off and menu buttons. On the top is the photo and video capture button and the microphone hole. On this side you have the speaker and a compartment with a USB-C slot, as well as a mini HDMI port. On the bottom of the camera is the battery compartment that stores a 3.7 volt 1350 milliamp lithium ion battery that's supposed to give you around 120 minutes when filming in 1080p, 80 minutes when filming in 4K, and 60 minutes when filming in 6K. It is waterproof and has an IP rating of IPX8 and can be submerged in water up to 10 meters without the waterproof case. When using the waterproof case, you can go down up to a depth of 131 feet or 40 meters. Okay, so now let's get into the camera specs. This camera has a 1/2.8 Sony IMX386 image sensor with an Ambarella H22-S75 processing chip, which should be able to produce some really nice looking images for you. The aperture is f2.2mm, which is normal for this type of budget camera, and it also has a removable protective lens cover, which is great, but unfortunately it doesn't have any ND lens filters available for it. The camera is able to take pictures at 24 megapixel resolution and can film video in 6K at 30 frames per second, 4K at 30 frames and 60 frames per second, 2.7 at both 30 and 60 frames per second, 1440p at 30, 60, 1080p at 30, 60, 120 frames per second, and at 720p at 30, 60, 120, and 240 frames per second. It also has what they call Super EIS, which is supposed to be a more advanced version of the normal electronic image stabilization, so hopefully you'll be able to get some smooth videos with it. However, one thing to mention here is that the EIS and Super EIS does not work in 6K. It only works in 4K resolution and under. Anyway, that's basically it for the camera specs. Now let's go ahead and head outside and go through the camera together. Okay, so we're out here with the iZEEKER action camera, and I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the settings and features that it has to offer here. So why don't we go ahead and start it up by pressing the on/off button. Okay. Alright, so we have an image here. First things first, let's go through the general settings. So we're going to click here on the mechanical gear wheel, and hopefully you guys can see that clearly. First thing on the settings list is the Wi-Fi, so you can actually connect this camera to a app which is called YouTube Pro, I believe. And but how you do that is you turn it on and go into your phone and select the Wi-Fi address, and once you select it, you put in the password that you see right there, and you're good to go. You can also change the Wi-Fi name if you want to your own, and I'm going to leave it just as is. Next is the auto dormant setting. So this is it automatically goes dormant after a while, and you can set that to 10 all the way to 60 seconds. Next is the auto power off, and you can set that to 1 minute all the way to 5 minutes. You have a language setting, and this has English, French, Dutch, Italian, Spanish, and other Asian languages here. Forgive the little bit of shake on the camera. I have this my phone mounted to a chest mount, and it's kind of shaking as I breathe and move. Okay, so what else? That was the languages. Okay, I think I changed the language here by mistake. Sorry about that. Alright, you have frequency, 60 and 50 hertz of screen frequency. Over here is your wide dynamic range, and you can turn that. I'll leave that off, but that's good for when you're filming something with dark areas, shadows, and it sort of like brightens up those shadows. So that's good for those who like to use that. Next is the voice volume, and you have a noise reduction option and a high option. So I'm going to leave it at default. What else? You have your front screen display. So you have your full display and default. So let me show you how to actually switch from this display to the front display. And how you do that is you press this button here, and you hold it down for I guess 3 or 4 seconds. Let me see if it works. Okay, so it's not going to work while you're in the settings. I'll show you right now though. And yeah, full display is wide, and default I guess is the cropped version. You have your reverse mode, which is upside down, your timestamp, keytone, shutter sound, power tone, grid. I like to keep the grid on. Your date and time, formatting of your card, factory reset, and the information of the camera and the firmware version that you currently have. Alright, so let me get out of here. So that's that for the general settings. So like I mentioned, you want to press here for 2 seconds, and you have the frontal screen display, and as you can see, it's wide. So I have it on the full display, and you have all of the icons, so you can see what settings you're currently on. Alright, switch that back. Alright, next is the resolutions. I've already shown this to you indoors, but let me show it to you again. So yes, this does have 6K at 30 frames per second, but when you're filming in 6K, it doesn't have the H.265 codec available, and watermark, and the EIS does not work. As you can see, it's off. In 4K 60, it doesn't have watermark, and it doesn't support the H.265 codec. but from 4K 30 and down, it does support the H.265 codec, and it does have the Super EIS. Alright, so here you have the segment, filming segment mode. So you have 1 minute to 10 minute segments. Audio on, I'll leave that on obviously. Yeah, like I said, you have your H.265 and H.264, which most of us are used to. But for those who have more sophisticated equipment, they can use the H.265 codec. What else? The LDC stands for lens distortion correction, which most of these action cameras sometimes, suffer from lens distortion. So I'll keep that on. Here's your gyroscope EIS, electronic image stabilization, and you have the regular EIS and the Super EIS, which is for more, advanced action scenarios. Over here you have your metering mode, center, average, and spot, exposure 0 to 3, shutter speeds, you have 1/60th of a second all the way to 1,000th of a second. What else? ISO, you have automatic 100 all the way to, okay, you don't let me, okay, there you go, 1600 ISO, which is not bad. You have your white balance, daylight, cloudy, tungsten, and floor, don't know what that is. Scene mode, personage, scenery, defog, and you have a sharpness option, so you can put in high, medium, or low. You have image quality, high or standard. I'm going to leave it at high. And you have a filter options, which you can add a filter, black and white filter, colorful filter, brown, warm, and cold. Alright, what else do we have here? So that's that. Let's get out of here. Alright, there we go. Over here is the icon for when you're filming, and right now we have it on video mode. So if I click on that, you'll see all of the modes for the video when you're filming a video. So I have it on normal mode, but you also have video time-lapse, slow motion, quick stories, which is sort of like quick shots on drones, where you film like 15 or 30 second shot, and it just records that 30 seconds and shuts off. Diving mode, and video and photo. So sort of like the Autel Evo Nano Plus, where you can set, while you're recording a video, you can set it to take pictures at I don't know, 5 seconds or every 10 seconds or so, depending on what you set it to. And and to switch from video to photo, just click here, and in photo mode you have photo time-lapse, timing photo, burst photo, long exposures for those who like to take long exposure photography, and raw photo. Now in raw photo, it's not, I don't know, it's really not raw photo to me. You get a 4,000 by 3,000 image size at 12 megapixels. So even though this camera can take pictures using 24 megapixel resolution, unfortunately when you use the raw photo format, it doesn't save it in that resolution, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's get out of here. Over here is this icon here, is to see all of your photos and videos that you've taken. And let me switch this back to video. What else? Okay, it just didn't. There we go. Okay, why is it not switching to video? Alright, anyway. Here on the top is how much space you have in your card. What else? Hold on one second. Let me switch this back to... There we go. Alright, so this is how much space you have in your memory card. Over here is the anti-shake icon, or EIS. This is the audio to let you know that you have the audio on, and your battery icon. Here's the grids, which I've activated to show you guys. But apart from that, if you want to access these settings quickly, you can just press this button on the top, for example, which will access the video settings themselves, or you can press here and access the video modes. Now if you swipe this way, you'll access your gallery. If you swipe upwards, you can access the video modes that way, and if you swipe down, you can easily and quickly access the Wi-Fi setting. This is to connect your the remote controller that comes with it, lock and unlock the camera, and to turn off or turn on, or actually turn off the camera. So I think that's basically it for this demonstration. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to go around and shoot some stuff and show you some, samples of what this camera can actually do. Nothing too fancy, but just some samples so you guys can check it out and see if you like what you see. Alright, so what do I think about the iZEEKER iA800? It's kind of difficult to pronounce first. I wish they would have put the A in front of the I and made it AI 800. But yeah, what do I think about it? It's a decent camera. It's a low-cost alternative to those more expensive ones like the DJI Osmo Action 3 or the new 4 or GoPro series. But obviously you're not gonna get the quality that those cameras have to offer, and it works for those who are on a budget and would like to use it to take photos and videos but are not expecting that professional look. So I think it's perfect for that type of user. I thought it was fine. I think the images came out pretty nice. The photography is okay for what it is, and yeah, I like it. It's not bad. I'll leave a link for you guys below so you guys can check it out. I believe it's available on Amazon, and I don't know how much it costs. You guys have to check that out for yourselves. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do that right now if you want to. God bless you all. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.